Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Pastor Lance Smith, and we're down at Zwingli UCC in Monticello, Wisconsin. Today we're here up at New Glarus Woods, and we're filming the midweek Hump Day Devotional. We thought it was real nice up here today. It's a beautiful evening. It's nice and cool and still sunny though. It's still not cold yet, but it's just right. It's that wonderful fall weather. Today I'd like to talk about a verse that Paul wrote in his letter to the Galatians. Chapter 5, verse 22 and 23 tells us, "The Spirit produces love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, and self-control." I think it's interesting that the second fruit of the Spirit is joy, and joy is what I want to talk to you about today. I remember when I was a young teenager, an upperclassman used to walk by me every day in the hallway. She was tall and lanky and had long blonde hair that went clear down to her waist. She's kind of one of those earthy hippie type chicks, and her name was Joy. Wow. But wait a minute, she's not what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about the joy that the angels brought to the shepherds when they said, "Behold, we bring you good tidings of great joy." I want to talk about the joy that the Bible is always talking about. You know, joy to the world, as Isaac Watts pens in the Christmas favorite. Joy. What is joy? I take it that it's a very good thing. And is it possible to experience joy on a regular basis? I find joy is not total ecstatic laughter. Joy is not bouncing off the wall happiness. Joy seems much deeper than that. I Googled the word joy just to see what it would come up with, and I found this to be quite meaningful. Joy is the emotion that makes life worth living in the moment because it resonates with our core identity. It's associated with feelings of ease, appreciation, and meaning. It's interesting, past couple of days I've been listening to the TED Talk radio podcast, and they've been interviewing J.J. Abrams, the author, and his new project is on gratitude, and he talked about his experiment, so to speak, and thankfulness. He says it has increased his awareness on how blessed he really is. He took a cup of Starbucks coffee and He went and thanked everybody from the grower of the coffee bean to the barista to the person that made the lid for the cup. And he said some days it was really hard to be thankful, like a duck on the water. It looked like he was thankful, and he was telling these people he was thankful, but his feet were going like crazy trying to keep him there. And he said he used a practice that he's used many times. He fakes it till he feels it. You know, if you act a certain way, pretty soon you will live it. You trick your mind. It's easier to act yourself into a new way of thinking than to think your way into a new way of acting. But it's interesting how this Thanksgiving and these thankful statements were kind of like a ripple effect of JJ's, how they went through the whole world around him and all of the thousands of people that it took to make that one cup of coffee for him. You know. Then they interviewed, in part of this program, they interviewed an excerpt from a Benedictine monk and a teacher, David Steindl Rost, on gratitude. He says, happiness is not what makes us happy. It's being grateful that makes us happy. He went on to say, when you're grateful, you can't have any doubts about your security or the abundance of the items you need. You live in the now. We as humans tend to get anxious about the future. Our head gives us grief because we worry, will there be enough? Am I enough? But gratefulness is all about this instant, this second. And that's where Abram says the joy is. It's interesting. I found this poem on Facebook last week. It was posted by a pastor friend of mine over in Milwaukee. The members of the Sufi faith believe their relationship with God to be much like that of a relationship with a lover. They dance and twirl meditatively until they reach what they believe to be a connection with God. Some people call them whirling dervish. This poem's by the poet Hafiz, who's one of their most prolific writers. Hafiz, the true lover of God. I sometimes forget that I was created for joy. My mind is too busy. My heart is too heavy. Too heavy for me to remember that I have been called to dance, the sacred dance for life. I was created to smile, to love, to be lifted up, and to lift others up. O Sacred One, untangle my feet from all that ensnares. Free my soul that we may dance and that our dancing might be contagious. God created this amazing planet we live on, this beautiful world. This mass of atoms and quarks and cells and tissue, all working together to form what we call life, and each component connected to one another. God created this place and then created us to sit and share it with. All the Earth's systems working together in harmony, just so we can feel at home, content, having purpose, at peace. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this planet and all that was in it was made for joy. I pray today that my feet will become untangled from all those things that ensnare me. I pray my eyes will only see the beauty that I'm immersed in and the blessings of the world that surrounds me. I pray that all of us will find the joy we were made for. Amen.